like nothing's gonna come my way. So I'm just gonna sit on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away.
Hey y'all, it's me, Cheryl. I know I said I wasn't gonna tape until I had accomplished something, but so much shit is going on that I need to talk about that. And I may get emotional during this taping. I really might, because I'm going through a lot financially. The bank done F me over worse than any man could. I mean, they just bent me over and shoved a pole up my ass, basically. And y'all know I got to smoke and I got to have my crumpin'. Or my vodka do, whatever the fuck you call it. I got it. I'm drinking. I fuck what everybody else say. I had one session with my therapist. It was great. It was wonderful. But for the last 3 days, no, for about the last 2 weeks, let me get a tissue. For the last 3 weeks, I have been dreaming that I had a baby. I was pregnant, or I had a set of twins. And you don't have to be a Freudian to figure out that it's hitting me harder now that I can never have children again. Not that I want to. These kids are driving me crazy. But it's just, that's not an option anymore. And it's so saddening to me that it's coming into my dreams every night. It's getting to the point where last week I didn't sleep. I would go to sleep for like 15-20 minutes. In that time I would dream about a baby. And that's all I was sleeping at night. I would go to bed at 4:30. The alarm clock is set to go off at 5:01. My neurologist would die if she knew that I have not had proper sleep for the last month. I'm lucky if I get 2 to 3 hours. But that's because I'm so upset. And I'm not just upset about that. Like I said, the guy that was stalking me at the hospital when I worked there is starting up again. So every time I go to a doctor's appointment or anything, I have to deal with him. Now, Joshua ran into my ex, Brian. We broke up about 9 years ago. And he's still talking about he want me back. What the fuck? Then, me and Tony ain't even friends no more. Because I called him crying and told him I was in trouble. And I needed his help. This bitch didn't even call me back. So, I got on that phone. I called him. And I told him everything I've been holding back for the last 7 years. I told him his fucking mama was a crazy bitch. His son is a disrespectful bitch. His friends is some bum ass bitches. I just said everything I have been holding back. And I said, if you do call yourself getting so mad that you come over to my house, you come at your own risk, because I'ma fuck you up. And I meant that shit. So now, not only do I have any dating prospects, I don't even have any male friends anymore, because Luke has just gone off the map. I haven't heard from Luke in like 9 or 10 months. He hasn't been online at all. So I don't know if he got fucked up in one of them earthquakes in Rome. I don't know. And I know he haven't been online because our last conversation is still on there. If he had been online, it would be gone. Even if he didn't talk to me, if he had came online at all, it would be gone. I mean, it's just like, and then the guy that I was telling y'all about down the street, he took me to the store, no, to the bank. I think it was yesterday or the day before. Well, he took me 2 days in a row, but because they can't get their shit together, like I said. But he was like, "Oh, girl, I do not want to get on your bad side." I said, "You really don't. You really fucking don't. You don't know what the fuck you done when you get on my bad side, and it takes a lot to get on my bad side." And all the stuff I was saying, he was like cracking up, and he was like, "You so crazy, you so mean." I'm not mean. I am one of the sweetest people on earth. But I am not going to be fucked over. That's just not going to happen. And I am so sick and fucking tired of being stalked. All the phone numbers I've had to change. Me having to move. It's ridiculous. And I don't even think they're stalking me because they still love me or love me. I think they're stalking me because, in the words of Miley Cyrus, I can't be tamed. No man has ever done it, and no man ever will. And they think they the one that's going to box me in and make me what they want me to be. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Stalking is not about love. Stalking is about power. They might send you roses and candy and stuff, but stalking is not about love. Stalking is about power. Rape is not about sexual need. Rape is about having power over another individual. And I would know, because I have been raped. Which that was not a pleasant time in my life. All them police reports, and they doing everything to you. And they didn't catch him. But I saw him a few years after he raped me. And this nigga came after me again. And I just happened to have my wits about me and got away from his ass. Because he told me when he raped me, I'm going to let you go, but if I ever see you again, I'm going to kill you. You just don't get over that kind of shit. And my family didn't believe in counseling and all that. What the fuck is talking to somebody about it gonna do? It ain't gonna undo the fact that I've been raped. It ain't gonna undo the fact that I've been stabbed. It ain't gonna undo nothing he did to me. So what's the point of talking about it? Which is why I've never talked about it. This is my first time talking about it. But I am a sexual assault survivor. And all my evidence is in some Detroit evidence backlog. They're never going to solve the case. And frankly, I don't think I want them to. I don't want to go to court. Because the prosecutor is always going to try and make you look like the whore. Like you look like you wanted it. And that is the stupidest thinking ever. What woman wants to be violated and abused and forced to do shit that she didn't? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Therapist said, my God, you have been through so much. And I didn't even tell him about that. It was just too much. We was already talking about painful issues. I didn't want to go into that. So he still don't know that I was sexually assaulted. My family knows, and I tell all my boyfriends so I can be upfront, although we know hell well by now I didn't get AIDS from it. And I might have gotten pregnant, but they gave me that morning after pill, and I told them I didn't want it. I said, if this is God's will, then let it be. But they made me take it anyway. So if I was pregnant, my baby died. But I tell all my boyfriends that I have been sexually assaulted. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. 1 by a stranger, 2 by family members. So, you know, if you go to get close to me and I'm away from you, it's bothering me. I'm having memories about it. Just give me my space. I'm sure by the next day everything will be fine. But lighter. I don't know how a prosecutor could say that anyway, because at the time I was in business school and I had to wear suits every day. So there was nothing above or barely above the knee. You didn't wear 6 and 7 inch heels. You wore modest 3 to 4 inch heels or flats. And you just look like a business person. This guy just, I don't know. A lot of the detectives on the case had their theories. He had been watching me for a while and watching my patterns and knew what time I came to school, knew what time I left school. There were other ones who said it was a chance encounter. You know, they all had their theories. Does it matter? Does it matter? Whether he sat there for 5 years and watched or 5 minutes, he put his hands on me without my permission. That's what matters. Oh, Lord. I have been through so much in my life. Y'all just don't know. A lot of it I don't talk about because it hurts. It's painful. And then people say, that's so strange about you. I don't like to go back to the places I used to live. I'll try my best not to, because I went back to the house I grew up in. The house my mother labored for endlessly to get paid off. And somebody else was there. And you don't know what that does to a person. Somebody was in my house, in my room. It's like being stabbed in your heart. It's just, I never go back to the places I used to live, because even though you have good memories there, it hurts that you're not there anymore. Especially your childhood home, where all your happiest memories are. I remember me and my mother in that kitchen baking cookies together, and in the games and our Scrabble tournaments in the living room, and and when we used to sit on her bed and have those mother-daughter talks. It all comes rushing on you. And it's like you can't breathe because you just... But through it all, since the day he was born, we had our moments when he was a teenager, but I had one constant love and one constant support. Now, I'm not saying we don't get on each other's nerves, but we're there for each other. And yes, he's still at home and he's 20, but he's working towards something. And that's what matters. Is one day he's going to be Dr. Joshua Hardman. And he is going to be contributing to the world. But he's been my support, my friend, my confidant. Even when he was in the crib, I used to just roll his crib over close to my bed and just talk to him. I didn't have nobody else. I don't know. A lot of this, it just poured out, and I don't know why. But I know for the last 3 days, I've just been so emotionally overwhelmed and so stressed out. And I can't, it's like walking on eggshells. And I can't handle living like that. I don't like to hear people argue, and everybody who knows me knows that. Maybe it's something from my childhood, hearing the fight between my mother and father before he actually started swinging. But I don't like to hear people argue, and I don't like to argue. And when I hear people argue, it has such an effect on my nerves. And that's all my kids do. So I never get a break. And I'm cracking under the pressure. Oh, Jesus. I remember I told him that on the phone, but I was talking to Kay, and I said, well, you talk to somebody. It's not that they're going to have the answer, because they may not. It's just nice to have somebody to listen. But you know what's nicer than having somebody listen? Having somebody wrap their arms around you and let you ball up into the tightest ball you can and lay on their chest and spill your heart out, and they tell you that everything is gonna be alright. And maybe that's what I miss about having a boyfriend, is there's nobody to hug me and tell me it's gonna be alright. I don't know what I'm going through. I really don't. But I thank y'all for taking the time out to watch this video. And if it helps somebody in any way, then I'm honored. And for anybody who's been sexually assaulted by family, friend, stranger, it doesn't matter. Don't hold your head in shame. That's society that puts such a stigma to it. And people will make them stupid comments about you wanted it or whatever, but you keep your head up. And don't take my road. maybe it is good to get some counseling. So, I will see y'all. I'm not gonna say when, because I don't know. But God willing, I will see y'all again, and I'll have something good to report. And once again, I see my views blowing up, and I thank y'all so much. It means so much to me. Because when I started this, I thought it was going to be a failure for Jump Street. I never imagined I'd have the amount of views I do. So, thank you. And y'all take care. Good night.
Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting